Soft winter sunlight filtered through the bare trees of Riverside Park. People passed by in a hurry, wrapped in coats and worries, but on one quiet bench sat Victoria Sterling, staring at her phone without really seeing it. At 35, Victoria was known as a powerful woman, confident, sharp, unstoppable. She led one of the fastest-growing media companies in the city. Her calendar was always full, her phone never silent. Yet on this afternoon, surrounded by noise and movement, she felt strangely invisible. She sighed, locking her phone and letting it rest beside her. The truth she avoided at work came rushing in. No family nearby, no one waiting at home, and no voice asking how her day had been. Success had filled her life, but something else was missing. "Excuse me, ma'am?" Victoria looked up. A little girl stood in front of her, holding a worn teddy bear with one button eye. She couldn't have been more than 5. Her coat was slightly too big, and her shoes were scuffed from play. "Yes?" Victoria replied, surprised by how gently her voice came out. The girl studied her face carefully, as if solving a puzzle. "You look sad," she said honestly. Victoria blinked. "I do?" The child nodded. "My daddy looks like that when he's thinking too much." Victoria felt a tightness in her chest. "What's your name?" "Sophie," the girl said, hugging her teddy. "This is Mr. Bear." "That's a good name," Victoria smiled. "I'm Victoria." Sophie climbed onto the bench beside her without asking. "Are you lonely?" The word hit harder than Victoria expected. She hesitated, then answered quietly, "Sometimes." Sophie swung her legs. "Me too." Victoria glanced around. "Are you here with someone?" "My daddy." Sophie pointed to a man nearby, pacing while speaking urgently on his phone. His shoulders were tense, his voice tired. "He works a lot," Sophie said. "Even when we come to the park." Victoria watched the man and felt an unexpected understanding. "That must be hard." Sophie nodded, then whispered, "My mama went to heaven." Victoria's breath caught. "I'm sorry, Sophie." "She used to brush my hair and take me for hot chocolate," Sophie continued. "Daddy tries, but he doesn't know how." Sophie turned toward Victoria, eyes full of hope. "Can you be my mama for one day?" Victoria froze. "Just one day," Sophie rushed on. "We can do girl things. I promise I'll listen." The park felt suddenly very quiet. Victoria looked at the small hand clutching Mr. Bear, then at the man still trapped in his phone call. Something deep inside her shifted, something she hadn't felt in years. "Let's talk to your dad first," she said softly. Sophie's face lit up like sunlight breaking through clouds. James Wilson ended his call the moment he saw Sophie approaching with a stranger. Worry crossed his face instantly. "Sophie, I told you not to bother people," he said gently. "She's not a stranger," Sophie replied quickly. "Her name is Victoria." Victoria stood and offered her hand. "I hope it's okay she talked to me." James shook her hand, cautious but polite. He looked exhausted, dark circles under kind eyes, shoulders carrying too much weight. "She asked me something important," Victoria continued, "and I wanted to speak with you properly." James looked down at Sophie. "What did you ask?" Sophie whispered. "I asked if she could be my mama for one day." James's heart sank. "Sweetheart." "It's okay," Victoria said softly. She explained everything. They sat together on the bench while Sophie hugged Mr. Bear between them. Victoria shared a little about herself, her career, her birthday, and how she had come to the park feeling lost. James listened carefully, then spoke quietly. "My wife passed away 2 years ago. Since then, it's just been us. I'm trying, but I know Sophie needs more than I can give." Victoria nodded. "And I realized I need more than work." A long silence followed. "What if," Victoria said slowly, "this wasn't just one day? What if we tried something safe and simple, maybe one Saturday a month? James hesitated. I'd need to be careful. As you should, Victoria agreed. We'll exchange information. No pressure. That night, James called her. They talked honestly, for over an hour. By the end, they agreed to try. The first Saturday felt like the first day of school. Victoria arrived early, nervous. Sophie opened the door and ran into her arms. You came, Sophie laughed. They spent the day laughing, exploring, and talking. Sophie asked endless questions. Victoria answered every one. At a cafe, Sophie whispered, "This feels like when Mama was here." Victoria's eyes filled with tears. She sounds wonderful. She was, Sophie smiled. Daddy says it's okay to love more people. Month by month, one Saturday became two, then every weekend. Victoria worked less and lived more. Sophie learned to braid hair, bake cookies, and trust happiness again. James watched his daughter bloom and his own heart soften. 6 months later, Sophie asked Victoria to attend her school event. You don't have to, she said nervously, but I'd like it. Victoria went, and never felt more certain. That night, James admitted the truth. I'm falling in love with you. Victoria smiled through tears. I already love you both. A year later, they became a family. 3 years later, Victoria sat on the same bench watching Sophie read while a baby slept beside her. Are you lonely now? Sophie asked. Victoria shook her head. Not anymore, Sophie smiled. Sometimes angels look lonely too until someone finds them. Victoria realized something then. She had built success alone. But love had built her life, all because she said yes to one small question.